Welcome to Cars R Us, your neighborhood mechanic. Today behind me I have a Chevy Tahoe '07 5.3 liter. Customers complaining the motor was moving inside the engine bay. Crawled up under there, looked, got a bad motor mount. So today we're going to change that out. This Tahoe has the same equivalency to the Suburban and the Escalade, 2007 to 14. Here is the new motor mount. Old motor mount is still in there, partially halfway out, but I'm gonna go over some key points of how to get it out with these. You don't have to take out the steering shaft or none of that right there. We're just gonna make it quick, simple, and easy. All right, here we go. All right, so first off, you're gonna need a ratchet, 3/8 I prefer, and you're gonna need a swivel. If you don't have the swivel with the 15 socket already built onto it, you can go to any store and spend like $1 or $2 on a swivel. Connect it to your 15-inch ratchet. And I got 2 extensions here. These bolts right here, they come from the top of the motor mount. And then you got 3 that comes from the bottom of the motor mount. Now let's slide up under here and let me show you how to get this thing up out of here. All right, so if you're laying up under the car, or if you got it on the lift, this right here is your rack and pinion. Right above your rack and pinion, you have the motor mount. Now at the bottom, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3 15mm bolts. Then at the top, this is where your swivel will come in very handy, and that long extension. But you're gonna have 1, 2, I don't know if you can see it. Then in that hole right there, 3, and then the hole on the opposite side, if I can get it to focus, 4. After you got all those bolts out, do not, I repeat, do not put a jack on the bottom of the oil pan. You're going to just cause problems later on down the line. That is too much pressure to be putting on an oil pan. What I did was I took my jack, being that I got it on ramps, I took my jack, I put it up under the catalytic converter in the corner, and I started jacking the vehicle, well, the motor up with the catalytic converter. What that did was that gave me space and allowed me to have room to move the motor mount. Now that I actually have the space to maneuver the motor mount out, all it is finessing it out of its space. Now let's go ahead and do that. It's pretty much got some space there. Trying to do this with one hand. Okay. Now you see how easy that comes out? And we also see the problem. That's where she ripped. So now that we have the old one out, let's slide from up under here. You see that thing? That's bad. Always make sure you got the right parts. Take it out. Sit on the same way. See the difference? The same difference, I'm sorry. And spin it around. And see where she's torn at. That one's intact. Now, what we're gonna do now, slide up under here. Like I said, there's plenty of space up under here, so I'm not harming anything by pushing up on that catalytic converter with the jack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take motor mount and I'm going to put it back in place of the old motor mount, which is pretty easy to slide up in there. Make sure you watch out for that sensor that's there. Okay. it might tend to be a little bit harder due to the fact that this motor mount isn't broken. Just gonna put this down right here. Now I have it back in place. So now what I have to do is put my screws in here, 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 and then realign it here. Now I'm not going to tighten down all my screws just yet. I'm going to put them in and line everything up. After I got everything lined up, tighten it down different spots. The longer screws will go on the outside at the bottom of the motor mount. Shorter screws are going to go into the block. So you just want to get your screws in, get a couple spins on it, get it lined up. Make sure you remember where your screws came from. Put your screws back exactly where they came from. You have 2 long screws and you have 2 short screws. I'm sorry, 2 long screws and 4 short screws. This is the part where I'll take my swivel. I'll take my swivel and my extension. I'll go ahead and start running that other screw back into place of where it was once before. It is very key to have everything lined up when tightening it down. You don't want to cross thread or strip anything out. I say make sure you do the 4 bolts first. The reason why you want to do those first is because you do have the motor jacked up. You can bend the heat shield out of the way a little bit to get these screws up in here and at least getting them started. Because once you let the jack down, the jack is going to sit everything back in place like it's supposed to. I'm going to bend this heat shield out of the way on this side a little bit. So it's whichever way works best. And I got that bolt started. Make sure. Right now I'm doing everything without actually having my eyes on it. I know I'm in the right spot though. Okay, so let me show you guys the progress I have so far. So here's the one bolt, the other bolt is in its hole. There's the 3rd bolt and the 4th bolt is in place also. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that long screw here. And we'll go ahead and run it down in place here. All right. Then we're going to take our time. Let me go ahead and take the jack, and I'm going to let it down just a bit. Let it down just enough where you can actually get up in there. Go. And everything's sitting in place. You know you got it right because there's that I want to say there's that lineup hole right there. You see, I'm just spin it on down by hand as much as I can. That's how easy it is to install a motor mount. And I ain't even popped the hood on this thing. It's so much easier this way. It's less stressful. And that's honestly all. That's all that's to it. Yeah, I could have used power tools, but I ain't want to. I like doing it by hand, making sure I got everything right. I don't want to over tighten or strip anything out. This is where that swivel comes in handy again here. Sort of hard to do with holding the camera in my hand. There we go. And one more side. Let's sit the camera down for this one. There will definitely be more videos to come. Like I said, this is Cars Are Rush. You can also follow me on Facebook, either under Cars Are Us, CAR-R-us, or my main Facebook page, BRIHARVIN. Plenty of pictures and videos and everything. Please like, subscribe, follow. If there's any questions that you need to know or anything of that nature, please don't hesitate to comment or ask. I work on foreigns and domestics. I'm not going to say I'm a know-it-all, but I know enough. I know enough to get the job done correctly. And then after I get everything together, then we're going to torque all the bolts down, make sure everything's right, and that's how you change a motor mount. Thanks for visiting Cars R Us.